Good Sunday morning, kiddos. This is lesson number 9 in our series, and our title of our story this morning is Elijah's Worn Out Faith. And our story comes from 1 Kings 19, verses 1 through 18. Our big idea today is I can have faith in God's care even when I feel discouraged. And our Bible verse today comes from Psalms chapter 28 and verse 7. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him and I am helped. Psalm 28 and 7. Okay, let's see what's going on today. Think about your home and think about what the best hiding place is. When do you like to hide in that hiding place? In our Bible story today, a man felt like he really needed a safe place to hide. Now we're going to find out about this person right here. God's prophet. Elijah was God's prophet and he was brave. His job was to take God's message to Ahab, the king of Israel. But Ahab and his wife Jezebel were not following the one true God. Instead, Jezebel worshiped false gods, the false god Baal. And she paid hundreds and hundreds of false prophets to lead the people to worship these false gods too. My goodness. As you might guess, God was not pleased about this false worship. No, he was not. Elijah had just come from a contest on a mountain where God had proven to all the people that he is the one true God. Many of the prophets of Baal had been killed after this. Then Ahab had gone home and told Jezebel everything that had happened, and Jezebel was furious. She sent a messenger to tell Elijah, I'm going to make sure you are dead by this time tomorrow. Oh my goodness. You might think that after winning the contest, Elijah would be feeling brave and strong, but Jezebel's threat scared him, and he ran for his life. Oh my goodness, he ran for his life. Now Elijah ran into the desert for a whole day, and finally he came to a broom tree. And we're going to read 1 Kings chapter 19 and 4 to find out what he did then. All right. 1 Kings 19 and 4. And then he went on alone into the wilderness, traveling all day. He sat down under a solitary broom tree and prayed that he might die. I have had enough, Lord, he said. Take my life, for I am no better than my ancestors who have already died. Oh my goodness. That was some prayer. Oh. Now, Elijah was exhausted and he was giving up. All the good things God had done didn't seem to matter anymore. He just wanted to die. Oh my goodness. Angel food. Now we're going to read 1 Kings chapter 19 verses 5 through 6 to find out what God did for Elijah. 1 Kings chapter 19 verses 5 through 6. Then he lay down and slept under the broom tree. But as he was sleeping, an angel touched him and told him, "Get up and eat." He looked around, and there beside his head was some bread and baked on hot stones and a jar of water. So he ate and drank, and then he laid down again. All right. When the angel woke Elijah, he looked around and he saw a small, freshly baked loaf of bread and a jug of cool water. He ate and he drank, and then he lay down to sleep again. But the angel came back and woke him up. You need to eat some more. You have a long journey ahead of you. Elijah got up again and he ate and drank a second time. And that food made him so strong that he traveled for 40 days without eating again. Oh my goodness, 40 days without eating again. My goodness. Now, Elijah walked every one of those 40 days until he reached the Mount Horeb. After all that walking, Elijah was tired. He found a cave and went in and spent the night there. In that cave, Elijah heard God's voice. Oh man, he heard angel's voice, and now he's hearing God's voice. God said, "Elijah, what are you doing here?" Now we're going to read 1 Kings chapter 19 verse 10 to find out what Elijah told God. All right. 1 Kings chapter 19 and verse 10 says, Elijah replied, "I have zealously served the Lord God Almighty, but the people of Israel have broken their covenant with you, torn down your altars, and killed every one of your prophets. I am the only one left, and now they are trying to kill me too." Oh my goodness. Wow. Elijah was sure letting God know what he thought, wasn't he? Now God didn't argue with Elijah, and he simply said, "Go out and stand on the mountain. You are in the presence of the Lord, and he is about to pass you by." Oh my goodness, you're in the presence of the Lord, and he's about to pass you by. Elijah watched and listened as a great and powerful wind passed by. So powerful that it tore the mountains apart and shattered the rocks. But God was not in that powerful wind, no. When the wind died down, an earthquake started. Everything rocked and bounced and moved. But God was not in that powerful earthquake. After the earth stopped shaking, a fire roared through the mountains. But God was not in that fire either. No way. After the wind and the earthquake and the fire, a gentle whisper came to Elijah's ears. The sound was gentle, but Elijah knew exactly who was in that sound. He pulled his cloak over his face and came to the entrance of the cave, and he heard God's voice say, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" It was the same question God had asked Elijah when he first had gotten there. Now we're going to read 1 Kings 19 and 14 to find out what Elijah's answer was. Do you think it'll be the same as it was before or after? Let's see. Chapter 19 and verse 14. He replied again, "I have zealously served the Lord God Almighty, but the people of Israel have broken their covenant with you, torn down your altars, and killed every one of your prophets. I am the only one left, and now they are trying to kill me too." Oh my goodness. Elijah was still mad. He was still complaining. And God told him, "Go back the way you come and go to the desert of Damascus. When you get there, anoint a new king for Israel. Also, Elijah, I want you to know that there are 7,000 people in Israel who have not worshipped Baal." Oh my goodness, 7,000 people who have not worshipped Baal. Elijah was encouraged by God's care for him and by God's words. He was finally ready to return and get back to serving God. Now, God provided food and water and strength and direction and truth to Elijah. Even when Elijah was grumpy and discouraged, God was patient and loving with him. He cared for all of Elijah's needs all of the time. Just like our memory verse today says in Psalms 28 and 7, "The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped." Psalm 28 and 7. Oh my goodness, when we are weak or discouraged, we can remember that God is our strength. He is our protection no matter what happens or how we feel. God loved and cared for Elijah even when Elijah was discouraged and couldn't think of anyone but himself. God knows that sometimes we feel the same way. The great thing about that, our bad feelings can't ever change who God is and how he treats us. He's going to treat us the same. Our feelings change, but God's love and his care and power, well, they will never change. No. We can always depend on God. We can always depend on God. Yes, we can. Our Bible verse again. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. Psalm 28:7. Oh my goodness. I can have faith in God's care even when I feel discouraged. Even when we have our worn out faith like Elijah, and we get discouraged and we get grumpy and we complain. The Lord loves us. He don't love that we complaining, but he loves us. He treats us the same. Let's try to have a faith like Elijah. And even when we get discouraged, we have to have faith in God. Even when we get down and our strength is gone, we have to have faith in God. I hope y'all are being safe. And I missed having y'all in Sunday school. I hope y'all have a blessed week and have enjoyed this lesson. God bless and goodbye.